Right, I have yet another car for you, and this one is a Nissan Pathfinder 2014. Now, if you don't know much about cars and you would like to look at one of these in order to add to your fleet, I'll show you here some steps and I'll give you some tips you can use in order to know what the real state of the car is and if it's worth taking to the next step, which I suggest is to take it to your mechanic, or if you should leave it. First thing on my list is the exterior condition. Oops, oh, there's too much light. Yep. Somebody forgot yesterday the window open, so the snow went in, but let's just ignore that. For the first test, now the car is not clean enough for me, but make sure the car is clean. Make sure you have enough bright light so you can see the real state of the car, of the paint. Walk around, take a careful look at the gaps between the doors and the panels. Make sure everything looks alright, that the lights are not broken, that all the clips and the plastic chrome is there. I can see that the rear view camera is not attached properly. That's one thing. Everything's there. Everything looks right. So apart from the camera, everything looks good. Next, look at the windshield. If there's too much snow on the outside, take a look from the inside. Make sure it's not cracked, which in this case looks good. Next is the tires. Look at the look at the tires. Make sure there's enough treads. The mag, make sure they're not broken. Now a little bit of scratches from there, nothing major. Everything else looks good. Now these are winter tires. If you are also living in a country where there's a lot of snow, make sure you ask for the summer tire as well. Usually they should provide them. Now I can somehow tell that the car is a bit tilted in the back. Not sure why. I don't know if you can see it, but I definitely feel it. Anyway, in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the exterior has been checked. And next is the engine. For this test, start the car and listen. Now, here I can't hear any exhaust leak, so that's good. The fume coming out of the tailpipe looks good for winter. No problem there. Next, open the hood. Listen at the engine. Now, engine sounds good. However, there is a small whine I can hear from this side. Not sure what it is. Not sure if it's normal. Anyway, there's no fume all around the engine, and it doesn't seem like it's leaking anything on the floor for now. While the hood is open, look at all the plastic clips and the bolts. Make sure everything is there. Make sure everything looks like they belong there, and that everything is aligned. Now in this case I can see there is a plastic cover that's missing over here. Not too important. Anyway. Alright. Now for the whine, it doesn't seem major, but it's definitely something I would ask my mechanic about. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and say that So engine checked. Next is the interior condition. Start with the door. Look at the panels. If anything seems torn, switches, everything looks right. The seats, they do feel like they lost their firmness on this side. However, they are clean. Again, ignore the snow. The steering wheel looks alright. The rear, clean. Oh, I think I know now why the car is tilted toward the back. Somehow there's a bike inside. Not sure I like how they transport their bike. Alright, now don't forget to open the trunk. Which it does. Nice bike. The car looks clean, apart from the snow inside as well. Make sure all the windows open. They do. Try the windshield wipers. They work. In the back as well. So all good. We already know the rear view camera is not gonna be working because it's hanging on the trunk. Test the heating system. Now the car has been starting for about 30 minutes here, and the snow hasn't cooled yet, and I don't feel hot enough yet. I mean, the snow haven't is still there, although I have the heating at maximum, and I myself am not too hot too. I feel like there is some problem with the heating system. I would also like to test the AC. However, since it's winter, sometimes even if you put it on, the compressor won't start because it will the car already feels like it's cold. So it definitely is something that you have to also ask your mechanic about. Otherwise, check the radio. No, the radio right there. Make sure it works. And it does. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that that the interior has been checked. Next is the test drive. Now make sure you get to enough time to test the car. Take it in city, test the brakes, take it on the highway, test the stability. Make sure you at least drive the car until it reaches normal operating temperature. If the salesman or the seller insist on being with you on the ride, ask them to remain as much quiet as possible so you can focus on any small sound. Also turn off the radio. It can hide small sounds that would be easy to spot, could be hidden by the music or someone talking loud. So test it, try it out. In this case, the car drives fine, nothing to say about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the test drive has been done. Over there. Next would be the mileage. Now you've driven the car, you've also walked around it, you looked at everything. You should have an idea about how much mileage should it have. Now this one has 195,000 kilometers, and that seems pretty logic and reliable based on everything I've seen so far. So I'm pretty confident that this is the right mileage. I'm gonna go ahead and say that mileage has been checked. Next is the VIN. Now you really don't want to end up buying a car that has been stolen and cloned. So locate the VIN plates on the side of the car, driver's side. Try and remove it with your hand. Now it should be very hard and even not possible to remove. If it is too easy and if it feels like a sticker, then you could be dealing with a cloned car. However, in this case, it looks good. Take the VIN, compare it with the one on the windshield. Make sure that this one also doesn't look like it has been tampered with. It should be somewhere over there. All right. In this case, under the floor mat on the passenger side, you can also locate a third place where you can see your VIN under this plastic cover. So check it out. Make sure the VIN on the frame is the same as everywhere else on the car. With that, I'll go ahead and say that the VIN has been checked. And next is the cluster lights. For this one, turn off the car. Put it back on accessory mode. So you don't want to start it, you just want to put it on. And you want to see that all the lights are here. The check engine light, the battery light. If some of them turn off, do it again. You have the ABS, traction control, the brake light, even the airbag light is there. So that's good. Now start the car. Everything turns off, which means everything works. Now what could happen is somebody would remove the cluster lights, break the LED light behind the lights so they don't turn on, and they don't show you that there is a problem with the car. In this case, the cluster doesn't look like it has been tampered with, so that's good. The triangle light here, I think, means that there is missing windshield water, windshield liquid, I believe so. So anyway, everything looks good. With that, we end our test. Now, going around the car, I've been able to find some problem with it that I don't like. There is the most important one is the whine from the engine, which I'm not sure what it is. Now, depending on the price of the car, I would take it to a mechanic and just make sure it's nothing important. Next, there is the heating that's not working properly, and that hasn't still not heated it barely started to melt the snow, which now the car has been running for around 45 minutes, so not normal. Next, what do we have? The rear view camera is not attached, and that's pretty much it. So the rear view camera is not working. So definitely gonna depend on the price if I want to take it to a mechanic to check it further. Now, don't forget that you can always ask Google about the main issues around the car you want to go and look at. Now, for this example, we have mostly CVT transmission problems that we can occur in this kind of car. Definitely something that you can check while driving the car. In this case, the car drove fine, no problem with the transmission. So this is really something, a very important step that you can do before even going and checking your car. It's kind of a homework. Make sure you have in mind all the main issues that can occur, so you can verify them and make sure they're not there. So with that, thank you for watching. I really hope this video was helpful, and good luck with your purchase.